here I am checking in on the Write a Book in 15 Days challenge. So, how did it go, you're wondering? Well, I managed 4,565 words. I had to cut it short. I had to go take a kid to the doctor. So hopefully I'm going to be able to hang out those last, 500 words tonight, later on. That is my plan, if I don't get too exhausted. I went pretty good. Why is that? I think I would say because I did some planning. A lot of planning before I started. What kind of planning? Well, planning in the form of these cards and this board. And this is my go-to piece of apparatus when I want to plan a book. So I find it makes life super easy. On here, I have figured out all of the elements that go into the story, and I've broken it up into Act 1, 2 pieces of Act 2, and Act 3. So I know that once I have my opening set piece figured out and my theme stated, and I begin the setup, I know that I need, I have these here to remind me that there should be 6 problems going on, or 6 important things that are of concern that are mentioned before I go off to breaking into, a new world. And I call that Through the Looking Glass. I fall into a new world. And I also need those 6 things that need fixing really clear in my head before I keep going, and before I even attempt to write up to Act 1. And then break into Act 2 is the last sticker, which means that I'm flying around here on the board to go into the second act, up to the midpoint of that, which is going to be a lot of crisis and tension, hopefully. Should be. So my plan was, I planned the whole board this weekend. I planned Act 1 and up to the midpoint quite extensively. And then very loosely the remainder of the board. However, I always tend to know the rush to the castle at the end here, and up to the happily ever after ending. I tend to always know what that is, up to the closing set piece. Quite clearly in my mind. I always have this section and this section really clear in my mind, and this section and this section are usually absolute mud. So that's always the 2 sections I need to work on. I think that's the same with a lot of writers. So I wanted to make sure that I had this pretty solid in my head so I could just write forward, because a lot of what happens in these parts has to be set up so crucially here. So if you don't know that, well, then you can't keep writing. You can't go in a linear fashion. You can't go quickly, because your mind's solving problems and it's not on creating story. So thus, I created these cards. And on the cards, I literally follow the same pattern as on the board, and I have it all written out in point form. Some of the things that really need to occur. Did my chapters end up to be exactly like what I wrote out today? Absolutely not. In fact, I completely blew by and skipped an entire piece that now I'm thinking I'm not too sure that I need in there. So I will review that and decide whether or not I need that in my next draft. I'm going to make notes of it in this draft in red at the bottom of each of those chapters, but I don't care about it right now. I'm just writing draft 1. I'm barfing it out as quickly as I can, obviously, and my concern is going forward out. So onward, tomorrow, another 5,000 words. Let's see if I can do it. I'm pretty jazzed about this. I really want to get this done. I really want this to happen. By the way, at the end of my little writing challenge here, I'm going to be putting together a book for writers about my little board here and my method of writing and figuring out really cool outlines that help you write really, really quickly. So you can be looking forward to that as well. This has been really fun, but apparently I have another 500 words to bang out tonight, so I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow.